Hello everyone, welcome to another demo of Arkhia, and for this instance I'm going to show you what you can do with the JSON RPC Relay to interact with contracts on the Adero protocol. So for this I'm going to go to a project and I'm going to need my API key and one of our APIs, which is the JSON RPC Relay. So for this case I'm doing testnet, so I just want to make sure I get the right URL. For you to need, if you're more curious about this demo, so it's a fair trade coffee demo. We actually deploy a Solidity contract. We set up MetaMask, we load the contract, and we actually make a signed transaction as well using MetaMask. So if you are interested, just take a look and see how it works, since this demo is a bit longer. So for this video, we're going to keep it a bit shorter. This is my fair trade coffee little sample, and you can get it as well from Arkhia Quick Start. Going to the demo, what I wish is we have this contract ID on Hedera, and it has been deployed and has data inside of it. And what I want is when I load the EVM contract data, is just to use the JSON RPC relay and just get the metadata inside and call a method to get some data inside. So let's see how that can work, right? So all of this data is Hedera-based data. So what do we need to do? We can go here, just copy paste this JSON RPC relay, and we can go all the way here in the Arkhia Quick Start. We have two applications. Go to the React.js and select Contract Handler. And this is where the magic is pretty much binded to interact with a contract. So for this instance, we already have the ABI that we exported previously from the Solidity contract, and the Solidity contract is already deployed on the Hedera. So how to get that data from the front end? All we need to do is use the JSON RPC relay URL. So let me just copy paste what I have, and all you need to do is just slash the API key. That's just to make sure your access to Arkhia is validated. It's the first step, and that's kind of all you need to do for that part. And the next one is you need the ABI, and that's already exported from the previous step. So if you need to see it, please go to the Fair Trade demo application. And now the contract ID. How do I get the contract ID? So usually you're going to see it here. So the application, so you can use Arkhia Explorer or any type of Explorer from the mirror nodes. And if I go here, you actually have in the bottom right, the EVM address. And this is what you need if you want to interact with the Solidity contract using EVM tools. So I've put the contract ID, I got the ABI and the provider. That's all I need. So this fair trade contract is going to wrap, we're going to wrap around using Web3. And then I'm going to have a function here that's going to call an asynchronous promise that is going to call the contract, call the methods, and call this specific method here called get fair trade buyers. Let's see what it does. So if I'm going to go to the Solidity contract itself, you can see there's a method here that just returns an array of fair trade buyers. So anyone that's been making donations to the contract. The method has to be exactly the same. So as you can see, it's exactly the same. So let's see where I'm calling this and just make a little console log and see if we are successful. So we're getting it here. Okay, so let's just see if we have our fair trade buyers. Maybe just keep it short and let me see if we have success. So I'm going to refresh the page, and this will just make that call to the EVM contract data. And there we go. We have contract, we have the tokens, and you can see we have a list of all the users that have been added. Now, I think as part of the demo, let's just run a backend transaction that will also add another user here to the contract and see if we can actually get that data. So for that, I am going to go to a little snippet that I have, which would be 1.2 run transaction. So you can see also here from Node.js, you can go to examples, fair trade coffee, and what it does is just adds a bit of a journey to the contract. So I'm going to call it, okay, so maybe something different. Just call it 10 maybe. Our Arkhia team, let's have it here. Okay. Feeling generous today. We're making a testnet deployment or transaction. Let's put it like maybe 150 HBARs, for example. Okay, so let's do that. I think the contract ID is the same, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just run that. Okay, so let's see the journey here. Contract ID, donating because we love coffee. This contract, before we had 3 trade buyers, now we have 4. Token remaining balance a little bit more, but our contract balance has been going up. So that seems okay. And now, so let's see if our contract has been updated. There we go. So as you can see, 685 HBARs, these number of tokens, and if you can see, we just made a donation of 150 HBARs to the contract itself from this specific address, which is mine, and a timestamp. And that's it. As you can see, this is how easy it is to interact with contracts using Hedera, the JSON RPC Relay, and Arkhia.